Breaking news is shaking the heart of UK politics. King Charles has just made a move that few could have expected, and it's sending shockwaves through Parliament and across the nation. This is history in the making, and the consequences are only starting to unfold. Moments ago, reports confirmed that King Charles has ordered a temporary shutdown of the UK Parliament, a move that has stunned politicians, journalists, and citizens alike. The announcement comes amid rising tensions in the political arena, where debates over national policies and party leadership have been intensifying. Experts are calling this a rare intervention, highlighting that the monarchy rarely takes direct action in parliamentary affairs in modern times. The order has already sparked immediate reactions from all corners of the political spectrum. Conservative members of Parliament expressed surprise and concern, noting that such a shutdown disrupts the legislative process and halts important debates on policies affecting millions of citizens. Meanwhile, opposition leaders have criticized the decision as potentially overstepping constitutional boundaries, questioning the timing and the motives behind this unprecedented step. Analysts suggest that this shutdown could have serious implications for the nation's governance. Parliamentary sessions that were scheduled to discuss economic measures, healthcare reforms, and education funding are now paused, leaving key decisions in limbo. Citizens watching the news have flooded social media with reactions ranging from shock and confusion to outright anger. Hashtags related to King Charles and the shutdown are trending worldwide, showing that this story is not only dominating UK news, but capturing global attention as well. Royal commentators are emphasizing the symbolic weight of the king's action. While the monarchy traditionally plays a ceremonial role, this shutdown is being interpreted as a clear signal that the crown is asserting its authority at a time of political uncertainty. Historical parallels are being drawn, pointing to rare occasions when the monarchy intervened in parliamentary matters, reminding the public that even in a modern constitutional framework, royal influence can ripple through politics with immediate effect. For ordinary citizens, the shutdown raises pressing questions. What will happen to the bills currently under review? How long will Parliament remain closed? And most importantly, what does this mean for the balance of power between elected leaders and the monarchy? These questions are dominating news cycles as political analysts and commentators attempt to forecast the fallout. Some are predicting a period of intense political maneuvering, where parties scramble to respond, strategize, and regain control over legislative proceedings. Others warn of a deeper constitutional debate that could reshape perceptions of the monarchy's role in modern governance. Amid all this, visual coverage continues to pour in. Drone shots of Parliament show the normally bustling corridors now quiet and empty. Security is visibly heightened around Westminster, and journalists are reporting live from the scene, capturing the tension in real time. Animated graphics on major news channels illustrate which areas of government are affected, and social media feeds display public protests and heated discussions in digital town squares. This combination of visual storytelling and immediate reporting is helping viewers grasp the magnitude of what is happening. Political insiders also hint at behind-the-scenes discussions between the monarchy and senior government officials. While official statements remain minimal, it is clear that King Charles's decision was deliberate and carefully considered. The exact reasons remain closely guarded, but speculation abounds. Some suggest that the shutdown aims to pressure politicians into resolving certain legislative gridlocks, while others believe it is a strategic move in response to rising criticism of current leadership. The public's response is a mix of awe, concern, and curiosity. Many are sharing historical comparisons, pointing out that the monarchy's direct involvement in government matters is extraordinarily rare in recent decades. Social media polls indicate that citizens are divided. Some support the king's decision as a necessary intervention to shake up political stagnation, while others warn it could threaten democratic norms. Meanwhile, the world watches closely as news outlets in Europe, North America, and Asia report on the situation, underscoring that King Charles's action is not just a national story, but a global headline. In summary, the parliamentary shutdown ordered by King Charles marks a dramatic moment in UK politics. It halts legislative proceedings, sparks heated public debate, and raises fundamental questions about the monarchy's influence in a modern democracy. With Parliament temporarily paused and political reactions intensifying, this story is just beginning, and the consequences are likely to unfold over the coming hours and days. For now, all eyes are on Westminster, as the nation and the world watch history being made in real time. Breaking news is shaking the heart of UK politics. King Charles has just made a move that few could have expected, and it's sending shockwaves through Parliament and across the nation. This is history in the making, and the consequences are only starting to unfold. The political storm does not stop at the Parliament gates. Labour leader Keir Starmer has suddenly found himself at the centre of intense criticism, with public and political commentators alike questioning his leadership in the wake of King Charles's dramatic decision. While the King's shutdown dominates headlines, Starmer's response, or lack of a strong response, is drawing sharp scrutiny. Opposition members and even members of his own party are weighing in, wondering if he underestimated the gravity of the situation or failed to act decisively when it mattered most. Immediately following the announcement, Starmer's social media profiles and public statements were dissected by journalists and analysts. Critics argue that his messaging has been cautious, almost overly measured, which has fueled speculation that he may be politically vulnerable. Online, thousands of citizens are voicing their opinions, some accusing him of being passive or indecisive, while others defend him, claiming that navigating a constitutional crisis is far from straightforward. Hashtags targeting Starmer are trending alongside those related to King Charles, highlighting how quickly public opinion is turning into a central part of the story. Political commentators note that this is not the first time Starmer has faced pressure, but the stakes are higher than ever. The monarchy rarely intervenes in political affairs, and when it does, it exposes the fragility of political leadership. Starmer is now being portrayed as caught between respecting the ceremonial authority of the king and standing firm as the leader of the opposition. His choices in the next hours will be crucial, and every statement, gesture, or absence will be analyzed for signs of weakness or strategy. In Westminster, colleagues describe an atmosphere of tension. Party meetings are reportedly more urgent, with aides scrambling to draft official responses and coordinate statements. Behind closed doors, advisors are likely discussing the potential repercussions for upcoming legislation, parliamentary debates, and the Labour Party's broader strategy. Analysts predict that Starmer may need to make a bold move soon, either by challenging the shutdown publicly, seeking support from fellow MPs, or appealing directly to the public to maintain trust in his leadership. Social media has amplified every moment. Clips of Starmer speaking at earlier events, interviews, and press conferences are being reshared with commentary suggesting that he is unprepared for the royal intervention. Memes and animated graphics exaggerate his reaction, creating a viral layer to the story that traditional news coverage cannot ignore. While some of the commentary is humorous or satirical, the underlying criticism reflects real concerns about his political standing and credibility in a moment of national uncertainty. Experts point out that Starmer's handling of the situation could have long-term consequences for his political career. A leader perceived as indecisive in a constitutional crisis risks losing public confidence, party support, and media credibility. Conversely, a well-timed, decisive statement could transform this challenge into an opportunity, positioning him as a resilient and capable leader in turbulent times. Every move is being watched closely by political rivals, allies, and the electorate, making this a high-stakes moment that could shape the next chapter of UK politics. The public debate also extends to the broader implications for democracy. Citizens are asking whether opposition leaders should take a stronger stand when the monarchy intervenes, or whether restraint and respect for tradition are more appropriate. Town hall discussions, online polls, and social media debates reflect a nation divided, mirroring the intensity of the political scrutiny Starmer faces. News outlets show split-screen visuals comparing Starmer's reactions to King Charles's decision, emphasizing the contrast between the monarchy's decisive action and the leader's cautious stance. The shockwaves from King Charles's parliamentary shutdown go far beyond the immediate headlines. To understand why this is so extraordinary, it's important to put it into historical context. In modern UK history, the monarchy is largely ceremonial, with kings and queens rarely intervening directly in day-to-day politics. While royal assent is required for laws, it is almost always granted as a formality. Direct actions, like pausing Parliament, are exceptionally rare and usually reserved for extraordinary circumstances. Experts are comparing this moment to a handful of historical interventions, some dating back centuries, underscoring just how unusual and potentially game-changing this move truly is. Political analysts are now weighing the potential consequences of this shutdown. In practical terms, all parliamentary business has been put on hold. Debates on pressing issues such as economic policy, healthcare, and education are postponed indefinitely. Bills that were expected to pass or face intense scrutiny may now be delayed, creating uncertainty across multiple sectors. For government officials, civil servants, and citizens who rely on timely legislative action, this pause represents not just a political event, but a tangible disruption in governance. Beyond immediate logistics, the shutdown raises broader constitutional questions. How far can the monarchy intervene in politics without overstepping its ceremonial role? What does this mean for the balance of power between elected representatives and the crown? Constitutional scholars are predicting debates that could redefine public understanding of the monarchy's authority. Some warn that repeated interventions, even if rare, could set precedents that future monarchs might follow, subtly shifting the balance of power in ways that could affect generations of governance. The public response reflects both curiosity and concern. On social media, citizens are debating whether King Charles's decision is a bold act to restore order amid political gridlock or a risky overreach into democratic processes. Town hall meetings and opinion polls show a divided nation. Some praise the king's decisive action as a necessary way-up call to politicians, while others worry about the potential erosion of democratic norms. International media are also paying close attention, framing this story as a dramatic example of how constitutional monarchies navigate the delicate line between tradition and modern political realities. For political parties, the implications are immediate and strategic. Opposition leaders, including Starmer, are now under pressure to respond effectively, balancing respect for the monarchy with advocacy for democratic processes. Party strategists are working around the clock to craft messaging that reassures supporters without appearing weak or confrontational. In the longer term, the shutdown could influence upcoming elections, public trust in political institutions, and even inter-party dynamics. Every speech, press release, and social media post is now scrutinized not just for content, but for timing, tone, and perception. Royal commentators emphasize the symbolic significance of the king's action. By ordering a parliamentary pause, King Charles is sending a message about authority, responsibility, and the need for decisive governance in times of political uncertainty. Whether intended as a temporary measure or a broader statement, the act resonates far beyond Westminster, serving as a reminder that even in a modern democracy, historical traditions can still play a role in shaping political outcomes. Visual storytelling in a faceless video can bring this context to life. Timeline graphics comparing rare royal interventions in history-animated maps of UK political hubs and key parliamentary locations charts showing delayed bills and public opinion statistics text overlays summarizing constitutional questions and political stakes split-screen visuals showing Starmer, Parliament, and King Charles in symbolic contrast. In short, the shutdown is more than just a headline, it is a moment that could have long-lasting effects on British politics. Legislative delays, constitutional debates, and public scrutiny converge to create a political environment charged with uncertainty. For citizens, politicians, and analysts alike, every development in the coming hours and days will be closely watched. The nation is witnessing a rare intersection of history, authority, and democracy, a moment that may redefine the relationship between the crown and elected leaders for years to come. As the UK grapples with this extraordinary turn of events, one thing is clear: the political landscape has shifted dramatically. King Charles's decision to shut down Parliament has sent shockwaves through Westminster, placing leaders, including Keir Starmer, under intense scrutiny. Citizens, politicians, and analysts are all watching closely, knowing that the next few hours and days could determine the course of the nation's governance. For viewers, the situation is both urgent and unfolding in real time. Key questions remain unanswered. How long will Parliament remain closed? Will Starmer or other political leaders challenge the decision, or will they seek compromise? What impact will this have on upcoming legislation and national policies? Every answer will shape public perception, influence political strategies, and potentially alter the balance of power between the monarchy and elected officials. While the immediate shock of the news captures attention, it is the broader implications that make this moment historic. Citizens are reflecting on the delicate balance between tradition and democracy, questioning how far the monarchy can go in intervening and what responsibilities elected leaders have in responding. International observers are also monitoring the situation closely, framing it as a rare and dramatic example of constitutional tension in a modern democracy. The eyes of the world are on the UK, and every statement, every reaction, and every news update adds another layer to this unfolding story. For those following the story, staying informed is essential. News outlets, social media platforms, and official statements from Parliament will provide ongoing updates. Citizens are being urged to watch developments carefully, as the decisions made in the coming hours could influence everything from domestic policy to the nation's international reputation. The urgency and historical weight of this moment make it clear that this is not just another political headline, it is a defining moment in modern UK history. To stay ahead of the latest developments, viewers are encouraged to keep following reliable news sources and live updates. Every tweet, press release, and media report now carries heightened significance. Animated graphics of trending topics, social media reactions, and Parliament activity can help visualize the story in a faceless format, keeping the audience engaged without requiring on-camera narration. Finally, this story is far from over. As King Charles asserts his authority and Starmer faces mounting pressure, the nation braces for the next chapter in a political drama that is both unpredictable and historic. For viewers, the key takeaway is clear: stay alert, stay informed, and witness history unfold in real time. This is a moment that will be discussed, analyzed, and remembered for years to come, and in the coming hours will reveal just how deep the consequences of this royal intervention will reach.